What is up, Tiger fans? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will be recapping Clemson versus Georgia Week 1 of the college football season. This was the marquee matchup, and the Clemson Tigers lost this game by a score of 10-3. So, of course, this is a Clemson channel. I am a Clemson fan, and I was very, very disappointed with the Tigers' performance in this game, but I will be recapping it in this video. So, we're going to start with the Clemson offensive line. I feel like this was the biggest thing that stood out in this game. The Clemson offensive line could not win a matchup. Whether Georgia was rushing 3, rushing 4, blitzing, it didn't matter what Georgia was doing. Clemson couldn't stop it, and Clemson couldn't get anything going in the run game either. This Georgia defensive front was so dominant in this game. They had, I'm actually not sure what the final tally is or was. I'm going to try to find it, but I believe it was 7 sacks that Georgia had on Clemson quarterback DJ Uiagalelei. And this offensive line just was not great. Now, DJ was holding onto the ball some, so the offensive line, they definitely weren't good. Some of those sacks were on DJ. But overall, Clemson's offensive line just got dominated by a Georgia defense that just has more talent right now. And DJ, he just didn't look comfortable out there. He's been on the big stage before, but this is his 3rd career start and his first time being the day 1 starter. And he just did not look comfortable out there. Miscommunication with the receivers, just terrible pocket presence, and just inaccurate throws. This was not the DJ Uiagalelei that we saw last season, and this could very well be the best defense in the country. But you expected a much better performance from a quarterback that put up 40 points, 45 points, however many points Clemson put up on Notre Dame last season. So very disappointing for DJ, but I think he will improve. This is a very tough game to come into as his first game of the year. And the Clemson offense only scored 3 points. It just was not a great game for DJ. But also, Clemson was not running the ball much. Tony Elliott did not have a great game plan. I'm very, very critical of Tony Elliott, and I'm going to be in this video. His game plan was horrible. We did see some better adjustments in the second half, but the game plan was horrible. Tony Elliott is not a great play caller. He just isn't. He just isn't a great play caller, and we've had guys like Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence in the past, and DJ is just not quite at their level yet. But this Georgia offense, it was pretty solid, even though the Georgia offense only scored 3 points. That only touchdown that Georgia had was off a DJ Uiagalelei pick 6. So Georgia only scored 3 points, but their offense was a lot more efficient than Clemson's. JT Daniels, 22 of 30, 135 passing yards and an interception. Uiagalelei went 19 of 37, 178 and an interception. And then rushing, Georgia was much better, 121 total yards compared to Clemson's 2 yards rushing. So it was a much better game for the Georgia Bulldogs offensively. You saw Zamir White have a pretty solid game, Kendall Milton get in there some, and James Cook made an impact both receiving and rushing, getting some critical first downs. So this was a Georgia offense that was able to move the ball. They just weren't able to score a whole lot. But JT Daniels, I'd say, was having a better game than DJ Uiagalelei. Georgia was throwing a lot of short passes that were just getting these efficient 5-yard gains. But their offensive line was able to hold up better than Clemson's was. And Clemson's defense played so well in this game. This could have been a blowout if Clemson's defense wasn't as good as it was. But this defense for the Tigers was amazing, and Georgia's defense was just as good. And that's why Clemson could not score many points. But as I mentioned, that Georgia only got that touchdown because of a bad pass by Uiagalelei and miscommunication with Justin Ross. And that was a pick 6. Georgia scored as many points on offense as Clemson did. And when you look at it that way, it really doesn't seem as bad of an offensive game for Clemson. But Georgia's offense was much more efficient. They were able to run the ball. They weren't one-dimensional. That was one of my main concerns coming into this game, is how one-dimensional would Clemson's offense be? And we saw that it was very one-dimensional, and this lost the Tigers this game. They could not score on offense. So we look at the overall stats for the teams. On 3rd down, Georgia was 7 of 15. It's just a bunch of those short, efficient passes that's getting Georgia first downs. Clemson was 5 of 16. And Clemson actually had more passing yards on less completions. They were able to move some plays down the field. Georgia didn't really take a lot of shots, but those efficient gains were getting them first downs, and each quarterback threw an interception. However, Georgia was able to capitalize on the interception. Clemson was not. Rushing, Georgia just dominated it. An average of 3.9 yards per carry for Georgia and 0.1 yards per carry for Clemson. But Georgia, they were able to run the ball efficiently. Zamir White had a very good game. And Georgia didn't have a bunch of big plays, but as I mentioned before in this video, it was these efficient 5-6 yard gains that kept Georgia's offense moving, whether through the air or on the ground. And then both teams were penalized quite a bit. Georgia 10 penalties and Clemson 7. And Clemson actually won the turnover battle, but they weren't able to capitalize on either of those turnovers. The first turnover, Georgia fumbled a punt. That resulted in DJ Uiagalelei throwing a pick six. And then the second time, Clemson linebacker Balin Spector intercepted a JT Daniels pass. Uiagalelei was sacked twice on that drive, and Clemson came out of that with no points. So a very disappointing game for the Tigers on offense. The defense, though, was amazing. And hats off to Georgia. Georgia came into this game as the underdog, and they were the better team. And I do believe that they are the better team. This Georgia defense is great, and I believe that JT Daniels is a very good quarterback. But this Clemson offense was just not great. And Lynn J. Dixon didn't even play until the fourth quarter. He was the best out of all the Clemson running backs as far as making an impact goes. But he didn't even play till the fourth quarter, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. But that's pretty much all there is for this video. Not a whole lot to talk about. I've already talked about the game so much. But Georgia wins by a score of 10-3. Georgia came in to this game ranked number 5, Clemson ranked number 3. This was the huge matchup of the weekend and really the most hyped up game for this college football season. And maybe while it didn't live up to expectations as far as these quarterbacks airing the ball out, it was still a fun game to watch if you're a defensive-minded person. But thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. And let me know in the comments, what did you think about this Clemson-Georgia showdown? Definitely not what we expected, but it was still a close, competitive game. But neither offense could really get things going. DJ Uiagalelei really struggled, and his offensive line did not help out at all. Both defenses played amazing, and that Georgia run game was very, very good. So thank you guys once again for watching the video. Like, subscribe, go check out my other channels linked in the description. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this game. South Carolina State preview and prediction coming later this week. And I'll see you guys next time. Go Tigers.